Chapter 4, To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm going to keep this short and sweet as much as I can. I just love this book so much, so it's hard to stay short and sweet. So Chapter 4 serves two main purposes. One of those purposes is to advance the story of the book. The incidents that happen to advance the story of the book are, first of all, the kids start finding some treasures hidden in a tree. That tree happens to be on the Radley lot. So I think when I did chapter 1 video, we drew a picture of the neighborhood, and going down by the Radley house, the road kind of scoops out a little bit, and that's because a tree is right there, and I drew that tree for you. This is why. The kids start finding things left in that tree. First, Scout finds 2 pieces of gum. Please understand that gum in this time was like, wow, a special treat. Okay. It's 1930. You don't buy a lot of candy, stuff like that. But especially right now during the Great Depression, to be able to get some gum was really a special thing. So she finds 2 pieces of gum. She snatches them out of the tree. She shoves them both in her mouth. She chews them all afternoon, just loving it. She doesn't die. She doesn't get sick. Remember all the rumors about the Bradleys, and you don't eat their pecans because they'll kill you, things like that. She's fine. But when Jem comes home, he's like, spit that out, spit that out. She also finds later, when they're walking home, they find 2 Indian head pennies. And these are pennies that are minted with the head of an Indian. You can look them up. It's a real thing. Part of what I love about this book, everything is real. Everything she talks about is a real thing. It really existed. But these have been all slicked up, meaning they've been cleaned up, okay, rubbed, cleaned, and so it shows that they're special to somebody. The rest of the chapter all deals with the kids and their daily life and what they do. And while it does advance the story a little bit, it mostly shows you these kids in their life. And I think it's just an example of an excellent job that Harper Lee did telling this from the viewpoint of the kids. As they play, as they do their normal kid games, you learn more and more about the town, the people, the setting, the time period, all of that. Some of the things that happen that are great kid stories are, first of all, Dill comes on the train, and he tells these big made-up stories about his dad and how his dad's the engineer and he has a long pointed black beard. Well, this was the time that pirate stories were really popular and stuff like that, and now his dad has a pointed black beard. They're all made up. Okay, his dad is not the train engineer. His dad does not have a long pointed black beard. None of the stories that he tells are true. You also learn some of their superstitions. So you got hot steams. Hot steams are, in real life, all it is a spot where there's a cloud of fog that is going across the road. But the kids, in their superstitious stories, their fables, it's the spirits of a ghost that can't get to heaven. And the only way that you can walk through it is if you say, angel bright, life and death, get off the road, don't suck my breath. Something like that. It's on page 37. It's one of those kids' superstitions. And if you don't think those are real, what do you say when you're walking on the sidewalk and you don't want to step on the crack, right? Step on a crack, break your mother's back. And we could go through all the superstitions that exist in the world. I'm sorry, my dog is chewing on a squeaky chew toy. I can't get to it. The next thing, they play this tire rolling game. Again, if you don't think this is real, you're wrong. It is. Come here, Zor. Give me the... Where's the squeaky? Leave it alone. This is real. This is something that I used to do as a kid. One time my sister pushed me and I fell out of that thing. I got scraped all over. She got a spanking with a belt, so it was worth it. But essentially, it's just a tire, and you roll yourself up inside the round part of the tire, and somebody rolls it along, and you just and you get super, super dizzy. All right, that's all it is. Just a fun game that the kids play. And then they act out stuff. They get tired of acting out the famous movies of the time, like Dracula and the famous books. And so, like, The Gray Ghost is a famous book at the time. And they get tired of acting out those things, so they come up with their own. And I already told you how, as a kid, we acted out plays and stuff for our neighbors. And so this is something that people, actually did before there were cell phones and video games and all this kind of stuff. But they start acting out the life of Boo Radley, and it's not just real life, but it's the rumors that they have heard, the stories that have been made up about Boo Radley and his family, and even to the point where they take the scissors and they're cutting up the newspaper, and then he stabs his dad in the leg. And these are just all the rumors that they've heard. There's no proof about any of these, and the kids are here acting this out right on their front porch, where all the neighborhood can see them. And Atticus comes home, and what are you doing? Nothing. Right? Isn't that what every kid says the first time when they get caught? What are you doing? Nothing. Same thing for these kids. And he tells them he doesn't want to see this anymore. And then you hear from Scout again, and we advance the story again because she talks about how she doesn't want to play that game anymore. And Jem and Dill, they kind of make fun of her. You're a girl. This is all going to start to happen about her being a girl. And they want to still play the game, and she's like, no, we can't, Atticus told us not to. And Jem's like, no, he didn't. And he tries to get through the fine lines of it. But she admits to the reader that there's another reason she doesn't want to act this out. It's not just being afraid of getting caught by Atticus, but she's creeped out because when she did her turn in the tire roll and she landed right in the Radley front yard, she was like flopped out on the steps right at their front porch, and she could hear somebody inside laughing. Laughter in that house is not a normal thing, and so she was totally freaked out by it.